域展開。無料空所。
What's up, YouTubers? It's your boy Spectro here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the potential in a Marvel vs. DC fighting game. Now, you would think they would have probably tried to capitalize on this by now, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized it made sense why there hasn't been one yet, honestly. Licensing issues, the arguments that would go between Warner Brothers and Disney, now owning Marvel, and that would just be a complete chaos, honestly. If one character was better than the other, it would lead to so many issues, so many problems that would just come into play with that whole situation. I think they could come to a mutual agreement, to be honest though. I don't think it's impossible for them to like not want to make each character great in its own way, but in my opinion, the way I look at it is like, yeah, if they were really gonna try to make a Marvel versus DC fighting game, some people want Capcom to do it, some people want NetherRealm to do it. You know, there's always going to just be that one side that is just going to be like, nah, I don't like the way this game is presented, so I don't like the way the characters fight, I don't like the way the characters look. It's a whole list of things that would just come into the problems, and it would just be a whole fiasco. Alright, we already seen this happen with just Mortal Kombat 1 recently, as we've seen right now. I've been not really liking the way the combat has been. Now, to be honest, I'm no Mortal Kombat expert, to be honest with you. I play Mortal Kombat games though, I played quite a couple. I got my dubs, I took my L's, I'm not afraid to admit that. Probably more L's than I took dubs, but I had my fun playing, especially games like Mortal Kombat vs. DC, and I'm aware that a lot of people do not like that game. I don't know about you guys, but when I was playing it, and I played when I was young, and I had a blast playing that game. That game was top tier, I don't care what nobody say, that shit was fun as fuck. Cause let's be honest bro, DC characters versus Mortal Kombat characters, even back then I was thinking like, why we don't just get a Marvel vs. DC game? And I just never, honestly, this was an idea I had for a video for a while now, like years. I just never acted upon it, honestly, until now. So yeah, and it's like, I got to thinking about it more and more and more. And what would it take for a Marvel versus DC game to happen? And then I start listing things down in my head, and it's like licensing issues, a developer, who would take on a project of a game of this scale, you know? How would you keep the amount of characters even, like 20 characters per roster, you know, 5 characters per DLC, something like that? I think that'd be a good size for Marvel versus DC, you know, amount of characters, and then DLC can be 5 characters each, unless you want to, you know, try to renegotiate and add more DLCs in the future. But then again, it's like, that's one of those games I could definitely see just like it'll come out, be a huge hit, and then like 5-6 years down the line it'd be like just delisted from the stores and shit like that, just because the license and shit just ran out. It's just one of the sort of things that kind of just really go down and just happen. As recently we see with the Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection came back, the arcade classics, and everybody's hyped, and you got all the positive, you know, reaction coming from everyone, and all the fighting people who love fighting games, and just, you know, I'm happy to see that everyone's really excited to see this arcade collection come back. I didn't know there was such a huge fan base for this, and I wasn't aware of this arcade collection just hasn't like been on any modern consoles. But then again, I'm not that too surprised, because a lot of old games like that just disappeared through the age of time. You know, that's just one of those things that tend to happen. License issues, and these games get delisted, and you don't hear anything from years and years on end. But like I said about this Marvel vs. DC game, I would love to see a fighting game, honestly. That'd probably be the first fighting game I'll genuinely get heavy invested into, just because I love so many different characters from Marvel and DC. I would love to get into a game like that. I kind of wonder what the story mode would be like. Would it just be like some old Smash Brothers, like a new enemy would be created that's threatening both the Marvel universe and DC universe, and they come to work together type of scenario? Or would it be just like, you know, you bring them into an arena, you got this mastermind, you know, forcing the heroes to fight against each other? I could see that being pretty likely being the case for like a story mode type of thing. But either way, you know, these are sort of storylines that's kind of been done before in crossover games, so, you know, maybe we want to do something more original. And then let's talk about the biggest issue of them all with a Marvel versus DC fighting game: profits. All right, let's be honest here, people. Disney's gonna want the majority. Warner Brothers is gonna want the majority. It's gonna be a whole fucking disaster. I can't even come up with words for it, because it's like, it's gonna be a disaster. Because when it really comes down to it, a game like this is gonna make a lot of money. It's hands down gonna make a lot of money. There's no way Warner Brothers or Disney is gonna back down for one another when it comes down to it at the end of the day. You know, that greed is gonna kick in. Money talks, people. Money talks. All right, for a game like this, there's no way they're just gonna ignore how much promotion is gonna go into it, and then how much is like money's gonna be made, revenue is gonna come in. Not to mention over the years, DLC. It's a lot to think about. And not to mention, you could also introduce new heroes from the DC universe or Marvel universe that may not be well known, that may not made their debut in DCU or made their debut in the MCU. You can get these characters in the game. You get the people knowing more about these characters. You know, it basically expanding the brand, make it bigger than what it already is. These two gigantic brands already are gigantic as it is. All right, they don't really need exposure, but you know, new up and coming characters that haven't really been talked about or nobody really knows about hardly. You know, you can really get them out there. So like you may have someone like Bat Family. All right, you got a lot of characters in Bat Family they ain't really talked about that much. Like Cassandra Cain, you get her out there, boom. You know, that's a character you can get more well known out there. Robert Reyes from the Ghost Rider. Of course, we see him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but not everybody's seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so that's a character you can also get more out there, more exposure to everyone else. Or another character because I don't know, I think Robbie is pretty exposed as it is right now. I tell you that, I think he's pretty exposed as it is because he was in Midnight Sun. So I don't know, some other character that's lesser known right now that can get more exposure into the Marvel universe. But you know, it's a lot of potential for this right here. I would love to see this happen. I would love to see this just really come to fruition. But I have come to accept the reality of this Warner Brothers and Disney and their pride would not allow them to make such a game. And not to mention just the conflict of who would develop such a game. NetherRealms, CloudCon. Either way, the fan base would be very divided. Best scenario, choose a developer who's not neither one of them. The best scenario is a dev team that's definitely just maybe up and coming new that can really get their shine on with a potential great project like this. But I would love to see this happen, honestly. And I'm surprised more people don't talk about the potential of this. I think it's just more the idea people already know, like, it would never happen. You know, it's one of those things where it's like Marvel, DC, you know, Warner Brothers, Disney, like, they're just going to be at each other next. Not to say they couldn't reach an agreement, but at the end of the day, one's going to want a greater profit than the other. And that's just, they're never going to come to agree on that whole situation. But maybe one day. We can all wish one day. Maybe we can hope. But with all that being said, folks, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like the video. This size out the video. Tell me what you think. Comment section below. And if they did have a Marvel vs. DC fighting game, who would you want to see in the game? Okay, we'll see you guys next time.